Greetings to all my comrades of the APC. This is now the APC online TV platform, and me na comrade OrWanKaSu. This is now the one-to-one upfront interview of all APC aspirants that will vie for various positions then within the APC, and for give them the opportunity for make them able for sell themselves, for put them CV at the table for the potential voters that we will get for votes for the various positions them waiting the vie for. Today we get a very senior comrade of the APC and somebody we don't serve as a minister in Sierra Leone and now household name within the APC. We go Brian come in, make he introduce himself. Then we go straight into the conversation with this senior comrade. If I can ask you, let you come on, please, and introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, OrWanKaSu. And always a pleasure for me for being on this platform. Me na Dr. Richard Konteh, Flagbearer aspirant for the All People's Congress for the 2023 presidential elections.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh. Now, in name way, APCNs them no go doubt. You don't serve as a minister, you don't serve, we know a lot about you, but some they can say you yourself know yourself past anybody else. So Dr. Richard Konteh, you vie for the flag bearership of the APC for the 2023 presidential elections. Somebody go ask, who that's not Dr. Richard Konteh? Who say you hail from? Waiting, you be done to do to this time when we know you today as Dr. Richard Konteh.
Thank you very much. I hail from Bendembu in the Bombali district. I'm married. I just lost my Pekin a few months ago, my boy Pekin, but I get my girl Pekin and with my wife, and we reside here in Freetown. My early life, because me na the son of a teacher, we been here for live na multiple communities all over the country, but especially in the Bombali district. And in the process, I grew up within the school environment. I started my life as an untrained and unqualified teacher after high school at the Kamakwe Secondary School. After that, I go Jala University. I do my first degree. Then I come back to Kamakwe Secondary School and teach for another 2 years. Then I left. I go back to Jala for go do my first master's degree in population studies. Some aspect of medical demography. I've been looking at maternal mortality and some of the socioeconomic factors, the way they affect maternal mortality in Sierra Leone. I do that master's, then I get a scholarship. I go Germany, I go do a second master's degree. This will be a joint master's program where the University of Dortmund in Germany and the University of Science and Technology in Kumasi, then they jointly offer. I do that second master's degree. Then I come back to Sierra Leone. I work with the church, the Western Church of Sierra Leone, for about 9 months before they called me up for go Nigeria, for go lecture. And I lecture for a little over a year. Then I get a scholarship for go to Germany for go do my doctorate. Complete my doctorate, and I return to Sierra Leone with the intention actually for work for the university, but we've been getting some small hitches, so I pick up a job with Catholic Relief Services as program manager. Later on, I get the opportunity for get me job back in Nigeria, so they actually end up for do 2 jobs at the same time. Luckily, both jobs were on the same street, so I was fine. I was a lecturer at Jala University College and also a program manager in Catholic Relief Services, and I do that for 3 years. But what even more important during my time in Catholic Relief Services, now the contribution where I make to the peace process in Sierra Leone. I've been work with other civil society actors for establish the network on collaborative peace building in Sierra Leone in 2000, 2001. And that organization be an umbrella organization for all civil society groups were involved in peace building. And I'll be excited that we have been one of the first civil society groups who've been able to go behind rebel lines and go live with the rebels for 1 week, for talk to them about the need for make them bring about peace in Sierra Leone. And it will be the work in partnership with the West African Network for Peace Building. And that organization where will be informed, now today, which they call OrWanKaSu Sierra Leone. I also, during this period where I've been doing work for CRS, also be interested in mining and just mining issues. I've been concerned about the fact, say, we're a country endowed with mineral resources, but we don't benefit as a country from those resources. And therefore, we've been interested as civil society for trying to know waiting responsible for that. So we've been be part of the Just Mining campaign, and we will also get a coalition on the Diamond Area Community Development Fund for try to see how then they utilize them in the communities. A percentage of the royalties that we give them back to the communities for make them, we said the mines, the minerals will come out to make the help for the do development in those areas. But many times the people who they give them money, they misuse them. And we are concerned as civil society, so we mount a campaign on that. When we don't organize that, we feel say we get a step a bit further and join the international discussions around just mining, around extractive industries generally. And so I'll be also pleased that we form the National Advocacy Coalition on Extractives. We are also privileged for serve as the first chairman of that umbrella body, where there be a group of civil society groups who will be very active, basically trying to ensure that we get more transparency in the mining sector, try to ensure that the country derive within a need from a desire from the mining sector, and make sure say there's more accountability and more correct ways of doing that. We do that. And then lastly, one thing will be very worrisome before 2002 was that elections were always characterized by violence. And so for me personally, I was very concerned. And so again, I work in a coalition of other civil society groups for make we form the violence-free elections campaign in 2001. And that me being served as a spokesperson. So people will be there in Sierra Leone 2001 to 2002. They be see me on radio and on television repeatedly. They agitate against violence in elections and appeal to young people, especially, for make the series and why we first stop violence in elections. And I'm pleased that that umbrella body will be formed then for ensure say we get violence-free elections in 2002 for the first time in Sierra Leone. Now that body 90 day na new. Where the National Elections Watch. So I'm pleased that during my time in civil society in Sierra Leone, I do that. And this work where I've been do, then take notice of them internationally. And so when West Africa, ECOWAS, they need somebody for head civil society in West Africa, and they advertise for the position, even though I not be one for apply, then call me, ask me, say, do you, Richard, apply for this position? And I apply, I go, I compete, I get done. So I become the head of civil society in West Africa, and I set up a civil society desk for try to see how civil society across West Africa can work on key issues where they affect the people. So in my entire life, I've always been interested, one, in working in a team. I don't ever believe, say, you can go it alone. I always believe, say, we are stronger when we work together. We are stronger when we work in a team. And that day, that guide me even up to my doctoral thesis, where I've been there for work on the development coordination. Where I've been there for write a book on coordination, development coordination in Sierra Leone and those type of things. So I have that passion and I do. So after ECOWAS, I come now and enter politics. I can serve as Deputy Minister for Finance and Economic Development, but responsibility for economic development, and then later on I become Minister of Trade, Chief of Staff, and the rest of the story with Sabiam. And now I'm a businessman, politician, and I aspire for being the flag bearer for the All People's Congress Party for the June 24th elections.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh. This I know there are other things where you left behind. This is just try for put them in a nutshell. There's a lot of things we in Sierra Leone aware of as chief of staff. Also, you serve in that capacity there, and lots of other things that we don't do. Thank you very much for that quick submission there in terms of which you don't do, which you don't acquire, and it's quite a good one. Really and truly, you get lots embedded in you for make you be a businessman, make you continue with the business and stuff like that. And you say you don't involve into a lot of CSOs, them civil society organizations, them for bring camp peace, for try to advocate against violence in elections. What inspire you for try for calm and try for stop violence in elections and try for collaborate with other civil society organizations them for make you they do what they do so for stop violence? What inspire you? What you see back then will make you come into this one?
Well, first of all, I've been find out say because elections been characterized by violence, plenty good people been afraid for getting into politics for fear that they're not go harm them. And so in the process, we not be the get we best involved in politics. The reality though is that the politicians that they actually shape the development trajectory of a country, that they shape the policies of a country, that they literally determine the future of this country. And so maybe feel say if we want for make we country go before, then we go for find ways for make we allow good people for come into politics and become part of the politics and try to make changes from within. And one way of doing that now for ensure say the violence where they keep people away, let we get rid of them. And so I work with others for form that coalition for get rid of violence. Of course, again, the fact that they kill people senselessly during this violence when they come in elections is also not being good. So that may be a key motivation. I wanted to make sure that when we talk about democracy, make it be real. Make people then get a free opportunity for elect the leadership we then deserve. The leadership we then feel say go best represent their interest. I not believe say then get for coerce people into that, they get for force people for do it they don't want to do, for accept it they don't want to accept. And I just believe say for create a level playing field for everybody for actualizing fullest potentials. Now that drive me into that coalition, and I've been glad that I've been getting the opportunity for be the spokesperson for the coalition, and they go out and spread. And luckily, we've been getting resounding success in that year for the first time we conduct elections as alone, and it was very peaceful relatively compared to what happened in previous elections.
Okay, well, that's created an impact. Your involvement into CSOs and organizations that we don't join for reduce violence in elections. You talk about a lot of people that don't get killed, senselessly because of, I would say, elections or politics. In the last 4.5 years, even though I don't make a lot of progress in this in the past, since 2002 elections going forward, you go agree with me, say some of them, inroads there, so them can step down and don't take. Actually, in the last 4.5 years, we don't see a lot of killing don't take place in the country. A lot of people don't die senselessly because of whether you call it elections or whether you call it politics. You go agree with me that this thing that happen, and USAI, all of them organizations, they are so they CSOs for try for make sure see and try for stop all of these things happening.
Well, regrettably, politics don't enter into civil society organizations' their activities, regrettably. And so because of that, a number of civil society groups don't lose the courage, the moral high ground for make them engage on issues and try for advocate against the wrong things where they happen in society. Yes, it's true that the killings were happened during these last 4.5 years are unprecedented in the political history of Sierra Leone and you're unwarranted. But all of this now as a result of the fact say we allow the wrong people to get to the right places. When we elect the wrong people into the right places, into high places, into positions of responsibility, to positions that way they control the resource of this country, the military might of this country, and all the powers where they go with them, it's very dangerous, And I think, say, the lesson where we for learn from that as Sierra Leoneans, that we care for take the issue of choice of leadership very seriously. This is not about sentiments. This is not about tribe. This is not about region. It's about putting the best people in those right places so that they will be able to impact the rest of society positively. That they will do those things where, in my opinion, will help for make the people then realize the full benefits of being citizens of the country and make the people they're able to live lives where could be exemplary, where could be very good for them. And that's, I think, so we need to do. And one thing where I also don't observe, now that plenty time we dey go into politics solo. When I entered politics in 2007, as when I get my first appointment, 2007, I not be sabi my colleagues inside cabinet. So some of those people inside government, I was meeting them for the first time in my life. So I'm not going to say we had a team. We just had good players. And then they get in your effect. In that the synergy where we need for make we work for achieve the best for the country sometimes will not be achieved as much as will be for achieved under normal circumstances. We get a lot of apprehensions about each other. We get petty rivalries and those types of things. We're not very helpful. That is why going forward, I believe say we get for build a team. Drawing from the civil society experience, the coalitions the way I be the build. So I believe say even in politics, I believe say we get for build coalitions. A coalition of the willing, a coalition of people there with like minds, with a shared vision. Now that informs why some of we as Flagbearer aspirants, we say let's create a space which we for they come together, we for they discuss, so that those apprehensions will be get of each other, those fears, those concerns can be a little. We're going to understand each other better. So if we are lucky to come into governance, we believe say we can work as a team and work in the best interest of this country and offer this country what this country don't miss for so many years, and especially in the last 4.5 years, so that the gains of the APC before April 2018 can be restored, and then we build on that for take this country to higher heights.
In other words, there was no proper teamwork, no proper collaboration between you and the colleague ministers, then the term will you will serve as a minister. So
yeah, I think say Rome be there for doing better. We'll be for doing a lot better if we be in the complementary
better if we be they work as a team. Yeah. So that's bring about the idea of forming a coalition with the big six, or forming a big six. We don't form a team now, and you hope say if we're not lucky for coming to governance, we're not going to do more. Is that correct?
It is not about big six. It's about bringing together colleague aspirants for make we get for no say. Just because we are aspiring for one position does not make us enemies. But to say we get for just say yes, we are all exercising our democratic rights, but we can do it together. We can do it in a civil way. We can do it in a way complementary, so that we build a coalition of people with a shared vision, and let us get a better understanding of each other, so that when we talk, when we sing, we're singing from the same hymn sheet. And I believe that type of coalition, and I'm glad that The group is growing and it will continue for grow. Now a snowball approach. We will continue for expand them until we get a critical mass where we need for really bring about real positive change in Sierra Leone.
A group of politicians contesting for one position. You don't think there's a lot of hypocrisy among una, because at the end of the day you are going to contend for one position, and if you guys think that you'll be friends and you'll be working together, doing things together, and in the end you are going to be contending for one position, you don't think hypocrisy today a lot, because at the end of the day you're going to be fighting each other?
Well, that is precisely what we don't try to avoid. That is precisely waiting, we're coming together, don't succeed for achieve. Can you imagine that me, they come out Naya, and they go put local in the absence of Kemo, and they sleep in a hotel, and they cook for me, I eat. And they come out and they go na Kabbalah in the absence of Kaifala Mara, they cook for me in a house, and they eat, and they sleep there. And they go to Petito, they provide food, and they eat. And they go to Palo, in the absence, they pull for we food, they eat. In the presence, they bring food, they eat. It not been they happened before. This the show say we don't get for understand and appreciate each other better. The type of camaraderie where they amongst we now, it not be ever the day before. Even the 10 years who serve in government will not be get up. The type of bond what we they build now will not be ever get up before. And I think say that is what we need.
So
forward.
this kind of bond that get so right now, it sounds very, very rosy, it sounds very, very good. A lot of we will be happy for see una they all hand together, una they rub skin together. Deep down, if we foresee this kind of camaraderie, thing they go on between una, we expect una at some point before the elections, before the conventions, that una all go agree for left give one person. Then that
not necessarily. If it happens, hallelujah. If it happens, hallelujah. But not necessarily. One thing where we all don't resolve, now that whoever amongst we emerge as the winner, we all will rally around that person and support them in the best interest of the party and in the best interest of Sierra Leone. That is the bottom line. And we all get into this race believing that we can win or lose. But either way, because of the camaraderie we're there between we, and because of the team who will continue for expand, we will all at the end of the day be winners. And one of us will be president. That is the spirit we want for agenda.
That sounds very, very good. We hope say that happen, because in 2017,
that's my prayer.
Yeah, in 2017 we already say, oh, if me not get anybody will get among we 28 we contest, so we go support that person there. Anybody will get but at the end of the day, when one of una emerge as the one with them give the flag bearership, we see a lot of things happen in the country will lead to USA we did so right now. And they watch una, we see there's a lot of fighting happening. We see factions. We don't believe everybody 18. We everybody big six. We everybody NRM. We now the 18 we don't see. We see the Peter Konteh faction. We see the Sumana faction. So all of this we are watching. The people of APC are watching you guys, and we hope this big six.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So
thank you very much, OrWanKaSu.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for bringing that issue. I can make one point clear in the first instance. 2018 different from 2023.
Absolutely.
Richard Konteh did not contest in 2017, 2018. I did not contest.
You aspired?
I did not contest in 2017, 2018. The fact say they fire me from the government, nor get anything for do with whether or not I contest. The decision not for contest was mine. I'll be for still contest if I be one for contest. That did not disqualify me. Understand it? It pleased somebody for appoint me. It pleased again for fire me. And I right. He exercised in right and I respect him. He not change nothing. I'm still Richard Konteh. The You know, when you win in a democratic contest, or when you are selected in a democratic contest, you get to be magnanimous in victory. You get a responsibility for reach out. Make no mistake, when somebody lose an election, it's painful. If anybody tell you, say, you go lost election, and you go away smiling, I mean, you don't contest. You know what it mean for lose an election. It is not fun. Therefore, whoever wins gets a responsibility for reach out. Just like when they play football with your friend, you mistake, step on her, if for don't, send your hand, grab your friend and raise them up. If possible, hug them and make it believe, say, all is not lost. I believe, say, when that is missing, we have a challenge. So we believe, say, going forward, we own campaign, the unifier team, when I made the lead. We believe, say, when we win on the 28th of January, God willing, when we get the convention, when I become flag bearer, I will not rest until I can get all of my colleagues with whom we contested for some reason, why we for work together in the best interest of APC. And when we eventually win in June this year, we get for all make sure, say, there is space for everybody for be part of the governance architecture what we need for move this country forward. Because when I look at the one that we want for contest, all man they bring to the table your own experience, in your own academic background, in your own professional background, and I believe, say, we can complement each other. We can complement each other, and I believe, say, we can form a formidable team. And I believe, say, we all don't learn from past experiences. And I believe, say, we get a lot we could do differently, but in the best interest of Sierra Leone. And at that, I believe, say, the new government where APC will form in June, July 2023 will be a government we go hit the ground running. And with Richard Konteh at the helm of things, I believe, say, it will be results-oriented, it will be people-focused, and it will respond to the bread and butter issues who we also dearly need in this country.
That sounds very, very good. That sounds very, very sweet for Yeri. We hope see that happen. I just want to remind all
Take me
viewers.
on the word.
I just I just want to remind all viewers them say this na the upfront one-to-one interview with Comrade OrWanKaSu to all the aspirants they would aspire within the APC for them position them within the vie for, and this is an opportunity for every aspirant for can talk to we talk to them potential voters them for let them vote for them for the position within they aspire for. So that said, you can contact OrWanKaSu, you can contact Comrade Delwin Thomas, Mr. MMB Winamo Bangura, you can contact Sweet Bonita, you can contact Dr. Denke, Mr. JS Momo, Mr. Sheku Stevens, and all of we within the media team for make you get the opportunity for can talk to we, like I talk to we. So that said, we want for come back to Dr. Richard Konteh that when somebody win an election not an easy thing where you lost them with all the resources, the energy, the time, the support we don't get behind you, all of a sudden, you go lost the elections. Obviously, the moments that you're very disgruntled, you're very downtrodden, and obviously the one way lead for be magnanimous enough for go around, reach out to the other colleagues, then bring them come, together, especially that way we all are APC members. Like you say, you give reference to me. It happened to me twice. Me not be the wait for make them come meet me, make them come talk to me. I not be the allow any person where them give the symbol where I be the aspire for make you reach out to me, because One thing where I believe my party now in the contest, whether I win it or the person win it, now my party the contest, my party make election. I jump straight out of my own self, shake up myself, dust myself, and hit the road again. Begin enter inside the terrain of my constituency. Meet people, them smile to them. So people they look at me and cry. As soon as they see me, they cry. Now me they smile to them, hug them, tell them, say no, APC na the party we will support. Let will continue for support whoever the party don't give. Now that's 2017 activity the way happen within the APC. Some of the man that we not contest, we contest, we they're not lucky for emerge as the flag bearer. Some of them not even reachable. Some of them go out of the country claiming that they're going for medical. Some of them not be answer their phone. Some of them be they change their location. Some of them be they talk say, oh, I go for Lord do one next week. Oh, you want can see me? Okay, well, Lord do one next week because I get meeting here, I get meeting there, I get meeting. So it been really, really tedious and very, very difficult for the flag bearer, when Dr. Samora Odemingi that time day, for able for get people them into meetings, for able for try for galvanize them, put them together within a short period of time leading to the elections. That's not your excuse we even give at the time. Would you say yes to that? Would you agree with that?
I'm not going to say anything on that because
Okay.
I'm not privy to all of those things where they say. But one thing where me know is that me personally reach out 4 times, they not pick
Wow.
me up.
You don't become
Me,
busy now.
I'm
The big
not
man.
wait they reach out to me. Me
Okay.
reach out, they not
Fantastic.
pick me up. Understand
Fantastic.
it? But that
Yeah.
notwithstanding, I still go out
Yeah.
and I join the campaign and we fight. We're not able no more, but we try. We say we're able. But as I say, this is not the time now for reminisce on the past.
Yeah.
As I've been saying earlier on, let we learn lessons
Mm-hmm.
from what be happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And let we know say, when you win, you will need everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go it alone. I find them very, very unfortunate that people then they go now and talk about team A, team B, team C for waiting. At the end of the day, no matter who that get for be the flag bearer, no single individual can go it alone and win. It's not possible.
So
If you get for win under the umbrella of the APC, you go need everybody. All man get in your small backyard, which I get control. And you get for allow work with everybody, make all man go in backyard, go bring all man a do for can vote. That is how you get victory. It's a game of numbers. So we need everybody. We don't need some people.
now,
And that is precisely waiting Dr. Richard Konteh will go all out for you. I will not rest until I don't succeed for bring everybody on board. Let we form a team. Let we share the tasks. Let we all go out and bring out the votes for a sure victory for APC.
absolutely, that's what we need. The team owner, they so the big six. I'm not quite sure if there's anyone among una we the whole country not able to, or we not don't serve in the previous APC government. Some of the grassroots members and we talk see, but the aspirant they are to the all the it na APC. They all be the it. They don't give them position. They were nothing. They were somewhere in the diaspora doing their businesses and working. Now they don't come. They don't can give them position. They don't can eat. They don't get waiting and get forget. Now they don't come back. They want for can continue back for see for can lead. They don't go form a team of basic. What you go say to them people in there?
You see, that is the mistake we people let them make. Not to all man come into politics a poor man. I did not come into politics a poor man. I did not come into politics a hopeless person. By the time where they appoint me as minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, when I declare me assets, I had houses, I had other assets. I was not poor. So I not come into politics for can't drag. I been get half. And I believe, say, some of my colleagues were also not poor. And if you look inside the so-called big six where you talk about, that group, amongst the one that we work for Ernest Bai Koroma, each and every one of we been get a standing before Ernest Koroma become president. Each and every one of we contribute in a own little way to making Ernest Koroma president. And so we all brought our experiences, our resources, our wherewithal together for support Ernest Bai Koroma because we believed in him. Because we believed he could provide for us the leadership we need at the time. And he gave me the space for make we come and work with him. And for that, we could be eternally grateful. But it is wrong to suggest that we were nothing before 2007. Some of us were somebody. We had something before we came, and we brought something to the game. We made our contributions to ensuring that Ernest Koroma becomes president because we believed in him, we believed in his vision, we believed in his leadership, and we believe that if he becomes president, he will make a difference. And in all that without, we're glad that indeed he provided leadership. The constraints notwithstanding, because it started with the financial and economic crisis of 2008, 2009, where other countries are able to recover from, but we recovered from it. And just when it succeeded for Mexico, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, I would say, now Ebola strike. But even at that, we implement very robust economic policies, very stringent fiscal discipline, and we able ensure say the country not sink, like waiting to happen. So that we're going to right now. So at least we are grateful, and now we believe say the foundation has been laid. This government has tried to derail it, but we believe say we were able to get the train back on the rails and move forward positively for the country.
This now some of the things that we admire on our administration, the Ernest Koroma administration. During the time of the Ebola, just before that, Sierra Leone's economy was growing. I think it was the second fastest growing economy in the world. If I'm not mistaken, that could be checked, stand to be corrected. And with the twin shock of the Ebola and the price of the iron ore and the natural resources that are the international market, the resilience way the team show, the kind economic strategies and policies they want to put in place for able for manage the economy, till it remain, growing, even though it reduced a little bit, but it continue to grow within a 3-point-something% or stuff like that, was quite encouraging for somebody who they think properly, who they look at the country in trajectory. I will ask this question, sort of like a retrospective question. If at all, they say, okay, look back, Dr. Richard Konteh, which you don't do in your service in the period where you don't serve under Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma as president. What are the things the way you will look at, where you would think, say, if they give you the opportunity again, you would change them things today? You could try to do them much better, or which one the way you regret what you do in that administration day?
Thank you very much. When I be there first as Deputy Minister of Finance, responsible for economic development, two things then they were always very proud of. One, now the fact say the infrastructural development programs, where especially on road construction, where we embark on, I've been privileged to be the possible champion from the ministry. And I remember when me and the Financial Secretary Edmond go na Lungi for go approve the first set of infrastructure projects, and we begin monitoring. And we begin see the positive effect where it begin get. Edmond say would for expand them. I say no, Lord check us for Lord finish for this first one, we will continue. But I say I'm pleased that we thought of it, we initiated it, and we see the legacy where that they don't live. The second thing, as chairman of the National Joint Coordinating and Monitoring Committee for the Ministry of Finance, for the government, where they provide support to local councils. I was very keen on saying this decentralization for make it survive. We get for ensure say local councils they embark on own source revenue generating ventures. And I'm pleased that during the time where they manage those funds, we implement a range of income generating projects across the country for local councils. And today, local councils, they get guest houses that will be financed, they get markets who will be financed, they get stalls who will be financed, they get other projects where they generate small revenue for those councils, where they help us sustain them and weather the storm, even in very difficult times. I'm glad for where we do that. When I became Minister of Trade, amongst other things, I'm glad that I championed local content policy, where make sure say people they're able to benefit from the resources with this country endowed with. And today, with the local content law, and we see how it benefits. I'm glad that I was able to set up the Small and Medium Enterprises Fund, where make resources available to small and medium enterprises for make them able to embark on income generating activities and meet their everyday needs. I'm glad that during the time where at the serve as Minister of Trade, we're able to rebrand this country and attract businesses, investments into this country unparalleled in the political history of this country. I'm glad that during the time as minister, we be able to negotiate deals with the in the best interest of this country. When I was chief of staff, I'm glad that I do a number of things. One, Sierra Leone was then suspended from the EITI because we are not EITI compliant. I'm glad that in less than 1 year, I was able to lead the process for making Sierra Leone become EITI compliant again. On the MCC, I'm pleased for say, during my time as chief of staff, I succeed for make Sierra Leone meet all the requirements for make we forget a compact in 2014. In fact, the day where I for go to America for go present the final report, for say I've met all the requirements that they didn't sack me. I'm pleased for say I'm able to restructure the office of the chief of staff and give a new face to performance management and service delivery, holding people accountable for the responsibilities we then charge them with, and ensuring that people then know say they have to deliver. It is not just about holding an office, it's about performing those functions. So we ensure say people then perform, we provide them with the implementation support we need through the SPU, but also through the Performance Management Service Delivery Directorate, we're able to monitor and evaluate them. And we grade them and we rank them. It did not go down well with some people, but we did it. And definitely, when I become president, these are some of the things we're going to expand on. We see, for example, how this country right now they struggle with the issue of petroleum and petroleum pricing. It was stable during my time as Minister of Trade because we be able for one work with the oil marketing companies with the full support of the president for ensure say we institute measures for ensure say we get steady supplies and then we stabilize the prices using different measures. I know we'll talk about that now, but not spy we. But we were able to do it. We removed the queues, we stabilized the price of fuel, and we stabilized the supplies. The measures that they will put on, we'll talk about that. But everybody knows what happened during our administration with the price, with petroleum pricing and its availability on the market. Okay. So we know what is required to do it. Okay. And if you look at during we reign in government, we are able to stabilize the economy. the exchange rate not spiral out of control. We were able to, yes, it be they depreciate small, but the rate at which they depreciate was manageable. Then the effect on the ordinary man will not be as daunting and as grave as it is right now. So yes, there's a lot more I could have done, but I believe, I'm happy with the few things. There's a lot more that I did, but these things stand out for me as key things we will always be proud of. But these are things I believe we can continue with when I become president again. And other things I get in mind when I be able to do that, and where things I go for do. But at the appropriate time, we will talk about those things.
Yes, we go like forget you again and again inside this platform for the talk to you more, because you're sounding very, very good, and it's an opportunity for some of we for know the real Dr. Richard Konteh and the things that we don't do in this country. Because we don't see you from back in the days 2010, 2011, 2012, they up and down, now Sandari, Pass, McKinney, Freetown, but we only see Dr. Richard Konteh and the activities the way they do, but we don't actually get to understand deep down in the way they articulate for we. So we really appreciate that, and them videos that are so the interviews they are so go always then at the archives. We go always go back to them, pick them up, listen to what you go for say for posterity, for remind myself what Dr. Richard Konteh say back then. So, in other words, you were telling me that you got no regret at all from everything you don't do in the past. There's no regret. You're proud and for your achievements we don't do. You could not change anything.
I'm proud of my achievements. There is a lot I could have done that I was not able to do. There is a lot on hindsight that I could have done differently. But on the whole, I think I made my contribution, and I'm proud of what I was able to contribute.
Fantastic. This position where they aspire for, so now the top position, now the APC, politically, and then potentially the top position of the country. Dr. Richard Konteh, you're not a religious person. You don't study, you don't work for the Wesleyan Church, you don't work for the Catholic Mission, you don't collaborate with a lot of CSOs them for do.
And I work for Catholic Mission. I work for Catholic Relief Services.
Oh, right. Catholic Relief Services.
CRS.
Yes. And you know, sort of a religious person. I think you're a Christian, and Bendenbu, there's a church there. We always pastor they pray for you there and all of that. So you don't do a lot. You seem like a person where look peaceful, because I don't look at you, your activities them. You don't get involved into organizations them waiting for bring peace, for reduce violence that the country during on after elections, stuff like that. How you then envisage this elections when they come 2023 June 24th? How you then envisage what you could do, because we all people in there scared. What you could do for try to minimize this tension where they not only inside the APC, but also the inter-party problems that would happen in the country.
OrWanKaSu, I can always tell people then say, my greatest worry is not SLPP. My greatest worry now we own internal party ramblings. The attempts where people that they make for outsmart each other, the attempts where people that they make for impose their will on others, not allow people then for express themselves, not allow people for take their own objective decisions. They believe say they have to think for others, and therefore they get for dictate how things that will happen. That is my worry. But I believe positively, I believe strongly say whatever happens come 28th June before the 28th January, before the 29th January, where Fisher saying a deadline for don't get flag bearer, we APC will have a flag bearer, and that flag bearer will be Dr. Richard Konteh.
Fantastic.
When I become the flag bearer, not if, when I become the flag bearer, I'm going to lead the All People's Congress against the SLPP and win. I have demonstrated over the years that I understand elections. I've demonstrated that I can build a team around elections that can deliver positive results for the APC.
Okay.
I don't demonstrate, say, I can lead the party into areas where not many of us can dare to go to. And I've done demonstrate, say, I can rally national appeal for the APC, not only about APC strongholds, but even about reaching out to those areas considered as strongholds or no-go areas for the APC, strongholds of the SLPP. Go in there, strengthen our party, strengthen our membership, embolden them, and give them a reason why they should support the All People's Congress Party and vote for APC. And I don't demonstrate also that I can stop the SLPP from rigging. I have done that repeatedly in multiple by-elections. And God being my helper, I with the support of people like you. I remember in 2012, we did crisscross, Nasanda, during the elections there. Understand it? I believe that with people like you, all of us working together, like we did in 2012 and in 2018, across this country, we can marshal the necessary momentum to ensure victory for the APC on the first ballot under the leadership of Dr. Richard Konteh.
Okay.
Trust me.
You na person we major in population studies. You get qualification in that, whether it's degree or something, but you knowledge in population studies, you actually demonstrate and I think say we appreciate that as comrades of the APC. But then thief an election from you. And we have been talking say that is unacceptable. We are not able to get the results in we favor, even though we win them. Then change figures. We go against we. And una highlight that, una see them, una expose that. But una been promised we for go beyond that, for make sure say we get that seat today, but we'll not get them. What happened?
Which election you talk about?
I think it's a chairman position or it's a 055. Is it ward 055? I think now we'll do the
Okay,
one.
okay. It's okay. Ward 155.
155.
Yeah, I think that's Falaba.
Yeah.
We will get two elections. We will get the district chairmanship and then we will get the ward election. We succeed for win both, but then rig we out of the ward election. You see, my job there was to assist the people of Kwenadugu in that election. It was not my job to take over the leadership of the party. My job now been for bring out the facts and lay them bare and advise the leadership of the party on the options that were available to we. It be up to the party for taking the next steps. I am as frustrated as you might be over the fact say the party not push the matter further. But under my leadership, this will not happen.
Right.
And part of the problem, or part of the things that way we don't do, where they make it a bit more difficult for make the rig and get away with them, like the collation mechanism for we elections, where we don't develop, and I believe say we don't perfect them.
Right.
That is why I don't say under my leadership as the flag bearer for the All People's Congress Party, when we conduct the elections on the 24th of June, 2023, by midnight of the 25th of June, 2023, APC will get the results of the elections, God being our helper.
Fantastic.
And when the people of Sierra Leone vote for the APC, nobody is going to steal our votes. We are going to defend our votes with every legal authority at our disposal.
Fantastic.
And we will ensure say the people of Sierra Leone gets the leadership where they vote for. Nobody will steal those elections from Dr. Richard Konteh. God being our helper.
Fantastic. Dr. Richard Konteh, you don't see in the last 4 years the promises them way this government don't promise the people of Sierra Leone. And it don't come to a point, Usai, if you look back from the developments where APC don't bring to Usai and stop, and from Usai SLPP pick them up, they look like they don't take we backwards for nearly 20 years. Una they aspire for the leadership of this country for rural Sierra Leone. When I don't look at the state of Sierra Leone IDSO right now and see how we're going to manage Sierra Leone for bring Sierra Leone back to the development trajectory.
Yes.
And we're able to achieve that, and we're going to bring Sierra Leone back to the days of when everybody will see the economy they grow, everybody will thrive, and businesses and they go on, investors and they come in freely and able for do something.
Yes.
You see that
Yes.
happening?
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm glad you heard that. And
make I elaborate.
Uh-huh.
Economic management. Now simple thing. Now income expenditure. If you just the kind you manage your own house, if you spend more than what you generate, na chaos. The problem with this government now that they spend more than what they generate. The wage bill alone, they're more than double up from about 160 billion a month to over 350 billion a month. And they not get a commensurate increase in revenue for Macham. That is where the problem starts. So we therefore ensure say we quickly try for make the wage bill become one where we can afford. 2, no investor no go can put in money in an environment where insecure. And government not they just make money from just increasing taxes on the Sierra Leoneans.
Mm-hmm.
You need the private sector for coming with private sector capital.
Mm-hmm.
The investor in this country,
mm-hmm.
then pay royalties to government, then create jobs for we people,
mm-hmm.
and those people also pay their payee and other taxes,
mm-hmm.
then import things into this country and pay the necessary custom duties.
Mm-hmm.
Then government can say we have generated income to be able to finance other activities.
Okay.
We get a track record of doing that. And I tell you, say, when I was Minister of Trade, for example, for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone, I host inside this country an international investment forum. We bring together over 300 international investors into this country when I was Minister of Trade in 2011. And then they bring about a boom in private sector investments in this country. We contribute to the positive trajectory where we talk about in terms of economic growth. And if I was able to do that as Minister of Trade, with the support of the President, I believe say I can do better when I will be the President myself, with a very capable Minister of Trade.
Fantastic. But right now we don't almost come to the end, to the close of this particular interview. Really appreciate the fact that you were able to come join me. But to want you a few minutes for sell yourself to the voters, them sell yourself to the Sierra Leonean. Tell we would that the areas that we feel say people and go think say, okay, well, I go vote for Dr. Richard Konteh. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Me people them. We inside the APC, we there at a very critical moment for choose the next leadership. We go lead we in the next elections against the SLPP and we. I don't serve my party. I don't show loyalty to my party. In all my time of service to this party in government, they also show loyalty to my party and support my party. When we lost power, I also come out and make sacrifices for my party. I represent my party on radio and television programs the time way others in the fray. I take risks and come out and articulate the party in positions. When we need for represent the party and Statistics Sierra Leone on census issues, I come out and articulate the party in positions, and we were vindicated in the outcome. When we get elections, by elections all over the country, I use my own resources. I take risks, personal risks, risks for my family, risks for my team. We go all over this country and try for mobilize APC people there for defend with votes and ensure say we not lost all of those seats. It was not easy. It was tough. During this period of difficulty, when they beat with people there, harass with people there, I go all over this country for energize the base, for encourage, make them believe, say, somebody cares. I've done all of these things. I have been the person where you they call when you get a problem, but you begin in school fees. You they call when you sick. You they call when you get some family problem. That way you call where you need support. I don't do that all over this country. I don't also demonstrate, say, in my time of service, I don't demonstrate, say, me that person we can deliver results. Any side where they put me, all the positions that they put me, from finance to trade to chief of staff in the president's office, I excel, I stand out. And I don't get that experience during this period and my previous engagements, both as in academia, in international diplomacy, and in civil society activism. For sure, say, I get what it would take for hit the ground running. I understand the problems. Myself, I come from very humble backgrounds, so I have lived it. So nobody not going to tell me what's in poverty. I live them, I experience them. And because of my service to this country, I know what it will take. And now I offer myself as a humble servant, ready for provide the leadership what this country need for move forward. And I'm prepared to lead my APC party from the front against the SLPP and win. I don't demonstrate, say, I can do them. And I make una trust me, say, I go do them for the APC in June 2023. God be my helper. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Comrades of the APC, you have been listening to Dr. Richard Konteh, the aspirant for the Flagbearer seat for the APC Flagbearer elections or conventions in January this month, and potentially the president of Sierra Leone come June
Amen.
2023.
Amen.
God willing. Right. It has been electrifying. It has been interactive. We really appreciate that you actually face the questions them directly and answer them. There's a lot we could have talked about. I know you say you get a lot within you for bring out to we, but we don't come to the time we'll go for call this to close because we'll get other sessions in the back for do. But we go always be happy for invite you at this platform can talk to you again, in the near future. Okay, is that right?
Anytime, always
Fantastic.
available.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richard Konteh. If you can stay on the line when we close, and then we go do a small debrief, and then we call it a night. Yeah. So
No problem.
once again, thank you to all the viewers. This is Dr. Richard Konteh. Una don't listen to Ram. Una think, una listen, una reflect, and una cast una votes for the right person. Una believe for see, thank you for lead Sierra Leone. There's more interviews to come in the subsequent days. Over to you, technical team. Thank you very much. This is OrWanKaSu.